Good evening. My name is Alexandra Tagoas, and I will be speaking about the concept of human trafficking. As you can see, this picture to my right defines human trafficking. Now, what is human trafficking? Human trafficking is a very heinous crime, as said by Feingold in a 2005 article. It can be compared to modern-day slavery. There are many different forms of human trafficking that are very familiar to many of us. There's sex slavery, there is black market organ selling, and there is prostitution, which is the most common of human trafficking. It is a very absurd way to collect money, and it is the exchange of people for money. Now, there are elements that make up trafficking. You have the acts that are committed, the victims that are victimized, the means or the reason the captures do this, the purpose, and the result. Now I'm going to begin with these acts that are performed. This is performed when a group of leaders get together. They form an organization, and they go on and recruit children and adults. Now, children are the easiest to be recruited because you can go up to a child and say, "You want a piece of candy?" and they immediately form an attachment. And it is very difficult for the FBI to detect human trafficking, which leads me into the victims. Now, the victims, as said by Heinrich, victims do not know enough about the rights to self-identity, and identification is not accomplished with a list of indicators. It is very difficult for the FBI to find these victims because they are stripped of their identity the minute they are recruited. Sex slaves are sold continuously. They are just used for pleasure, and the minute they are used, they are sold. Many of these victims are beaten, they are starved to death, they are caged, they are roped with hands together, and they are sold all over the world. It occurs every day in places you can't even imagine. And it is very difficult for these victims to get back to normal reality. It is said that they are the cause of many mass shootings and bombings because they have to protect themselves. They have a need to protect themselves. They've never had anybody to love them, to care for them. And it is very difficult, as I said before, for them to get back to normal reality. Now, why do their captures do this? Their captures do this for exploitation and for money. Do you know how much money goes into human trafficking every year? Millions. And it happens all over the world. All these organizations do it to make themselves more powerful. And it was said by Bellows that human trafficking will be one of the highest growing crime rates in the world. And what is the result to all this? Prevention. We need to prevent this. How do we prevent this? We go out, we speak about it, join support groups. If you see anything or you detect anything abnormal in someone, like maybe bruises all over their bodies, bruises around their wrists, it is very important to call the FBI. There is a hotline for this. It is an 888 number, and you have FBI agents continuously working on investigating human trafficking. Now, the result was once defined by Clinton passing a law in 2000, Senator Clinton. She passed a law, the Trafficking Prevention Act, which saves anybody who has been a part of human trafficking. To review these elements, I'm going to go over them once again. You have the acts that were performed, the victims that are victimized, and millions of them are victimized every year. You have the means, the purpose in which they do this, and you have the results, which is prevention. Now, in the next slide, I'm going to show you the symbol of human trafficking. This is a barcode. The barcode is a symbol of buying stuff or selling stuff because it is used to buy stuff and sell stuff. So, join me in end trafficking. As Kevin Trowin once said, it is your choice. You either do something or you don't. Now I'm going to show you my arm.